Uh, when you were a student with Ring of Honor before you started wrestling, you talked about doing ring crew and whatnot. Did you guys have any other responsibilities? Like, did they throw you on security? Did they have you cooking popcorn? Did you like did what roles were you given? Tear down and all that stuff.
Yeah, ring crew would be tear down, security, being a gopher, making runs if somebody needed something. Jimmy Jacobs was always good for whenever we were in the Chicago area. Jimmy really liked me and liked my personality, so he'd be like, "I need a ride real quick. Kyle needs to give me a ride." So he'd get me out of ring crew, and I'd go drinking with him.
That works.
Um, yeah, it was one of those things where you were the catch all. You'd work merch. You would be the guy who runs people's like ring entrance attire back
Mhm.
and forth. You'd be security. You'd start up breakdown. If you were lucky, you'd have a dark match before the show on the pre-show. We actually had for the students, we had a top of the class trophy, which was like the pre-show championship. Um, never had any of that, but still, had one top of class trophy match. Didn't go well. Uh, but yeah, you could do a little bit of everything, and it's how you learn, and that's one of the things that I always remember now. You never forget that stuff. Like when there was five of us sleeping in a hotel room for 4.5 hours simply because we're going to pass out while driving the ring truck, and I would just sleep on a floor. So whenever somebody complains to me, I'm like, "What happened to sleeping on floors?
Yeah.
Like, do people not do that anymore? I don't know." And then I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm an old man now." I'm going to tell stories when I used to walk up the hill and down the hill and blah, blah,
Back
blah.
in
Like,
my
it's
day.
just the craziest thing. Yeah. But it's one of those things where I tried to never forget that. I remember when Claudio Castagnoli signed with WWE and they went to FCW. I lived in Florida at the time, and Florida Championship Wrestling FCW became NXT. I was driving down the road and I'm looking over and I see this tall son bitch hammering nails of like a flyer on a telephone pole, and I'm like, is that Claudio? I pull over and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, oh hey Kyle, they have me putting up flyers right now. It's one of those things. They just want to break us all in, and I've done it before, but hey, I'm happy to be here. And I went to the show and I saw him and Seth Rollins and a couple other guys I know. And after the show, they had to do ring crew. They were all breaking down the ring, and I was like, what is going on? And Seth was just like, he was Tyler Black, as I know him. He was just like, yeah, the problem is like they get a lot of guys that are in the wrestling industry before, so they make us all do the stuff you would if you were breaking in to teach us all lessons. And for guys like us that have done it, kind of sucks, but it is what it is. You got to play by the rules. Now
Just
look at
yeah, exactly. It paid off.